What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Q, Quinte, or Quintessential. Whatever you know me as the host of BLK Talk. Guess what? We have an exciting show for you today, so sit back, tune in, and join the conversation.
What's going on, everybody? Happy, whatever today is. Happy Saturday. I am your host, Q, Quinte, or Quintessential, and you are tuned in to an all-new episode of BLK Talk. Guess what? It's an amazing day, as it always is. So once again, thank you guys for tuning in. Today is very special because one of my fellow media colleagues is here, and we're about to have a conversation about a new but old endeavor that he's jumping back into. Yes. Guys, welcome David Duane. Come on. Clap it up.
How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Doing so good. Thank you so much again for allowing me to be on your platform and always the support. You've always been so supportive since day one. I know that I'd be a pain in the ass when it comes to the emails, but you always stay true to your boy, and I appreciate you.
Thank you. And look, I appreciate you for making this happen. So look, guys, if you don't know, a couple weeks ago, there was like some back and forth Twitter conversation. And there was a conversation about the lack of bridges in music. Now, if you guys are familiar with music, I feel like the early to mid 2000s is when like the last real bridges took place. And if you guys are familiar with like Destiny's Child and the Destiny Fulfilled album, mainly any of the verses that like Michelle Williams took on, those were considered bridges in songs. And it's like a point that kind of ties the song together, brings it home, and makes it make sense. And yeah, exactly. And it's something that was missing. So we were having a conversation, and I was questioning, where are they? And he says, well, guess what? I have bridges in my new music. And I said, what? And here we are today. So let's tell the people about this. We'll wait to talk about the musical journey. When I met you, it was in the space of media. So how long have you been doing that, and what got you into the media space?
Oh, so media, I've been doing that since I was in middle school. When Blog Talk Radio first became a whole thing, Q, I was like, let me hop on the bandwagon because I've always wanted to do shows, and I always have had such a personality. And even in this moment, I realized how much personality I have. And I was just like, oh my goodness, I want to interview. I want to stand out. I want to be different, because in the space of media, Black media, sometimes we're always tend to be negative or just media as a whole. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be, well, clearly I'm not a female, but I don't want to be, I don't want to be that person, right? And I was like, oh my goodness, let me start. So I started with interviewing people that were on like Making the Band. And so I was reaching out to people on MySpace. Yeah.
Wow, MySpace. I never had a MySpace.
What?
Never. I think I jumped into Black Planet, then I think it was Facebook, but never a MySpace.
Crazy. So I've got to kind of like high key credit like my little rise to like a little bit of superstardom via MySpace and Twitter, because I really utilized those platforms to connect with different talent and stuff like that. So whether it was Dawn from Dating Kane, Dirty Money, to Ads or Sarah Stokes or Rotimi, like Rotimi, before everybody was so hip to him as this amazing artist that he is. I mean, he's been doing artistry since college, and even before that. Now the world is getting to see him more in his acting life. Now he's a father, he's a husband. I mean, just doing exceptional. So I started then. I went to military school for high school, and I was like, and I was taking dance classes, Q, okay? And I was so pissed off. I was like, oh, I can't do no dance classes. So guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna continue to pursue my entertainment journey and do interviews and stuff like that. So I was even a part of the damn Academy newspaper. I was part of the yearbook. I was like, I have to be creative in some shape or form, no matter what. And I was still heavily into my music. Music was always something that I wanted to do since I was a kid. And There was supposed to be this debut album where the name constantly changed. It was like, it's happening in 2011, it's happening in 2012, and then it was like 2012, 13, it became an EP. Then that EP became obsolete. I scrapped it. It was a little moment. You know what I'm saying? Like it was literally a little moment. But like I was telling you before we got started, I was like the quality of how things look back then to now is so different. And I vocally needed to be able to sing certain songs the way that they needed to be conveyed because I've been writing songs since I was a kid. So I need for them to actually make sense. So I Just Want to Fall in Love is a whole re-release. Nah 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 is a whole re-release. And I know you peeped.
See, now, and not to cut you off, but I was going to ask you that, like, out of the music that you wrote years ago, you feel like you didn't necessarily give it what it needed to get or what it deserved at the moment. And was there anything that you planned on re-releasing? And boom, you just answered it for me.
That and Love Won't Wait on Us.
So why were those songs important to bring back from like the beginning of your journey to now?
I feel like it was important because I had those songs already on DSPs. And the only reason why they sat there for so long on and off, because selfishly, I didn't want to lose my Spotify, my Apple and stuff like this. I wanted to keep those things. So I wanted to reintroduce the idea of music to people and let people know I was coming after have had vocal training during the pandemic and stuff like that. Because before I got in a whole hot ass mess, I wasn't terrible, but I was in a whole hot ass mess. And there was just so much growth in me as a man, becoming who David Duane is like that, and still becoming. I feel like as you grow in life, we are constantly becoming. We're not even at our best yet. Like the best is yet to come. So those songs, I was like, let me just give people a little introduction. Then we got Love Me Wrong. And then in April, I literally wrote Always Think About You, like literally weeks before my birthday. I was like, this is a jam. I want to feel good about love. It reminds me of the 90s. Like the second verse is so much homage to actually Faith Evans. I don't even know if you even kind of like peep that, but I used to, You Used to Love Me, kind of like very of that same vibe and stuff like that. So I was like, I really wanted to feel good about R&B and really bring that 90s, 80s, 2000s sound because it was such a sound, right? And it's still a sound that people constantly pay homage to in today's music. We don't have to forget about it at all. We can keep it still there and present, but make it fresh.
So music, R&B music in particular, over the decades, it always changes, it always progresses. There are always artists that do reach back and, as you said, pay homage to artists who have paved the way or, created a sound that you just can't forget. When do you think the shift in R&B music occurred? Because over maybe the last 10 years or so, you hear a lot of people say R&B is dead, or how do you feel about R&B and things like that, and it's not been as popular or as loved or accepted as it once was. When do you think that change occurred in R&B music?
I would say early to mid 2000s when everything started to turn up in the early.
Yeah.
And then we just started to use, and I say we as in music as a whole, started to use auto-tune entirely way too much. Everybody wanted to drink, everybody wanted to turn up, everybody just wanted to have a good time on a whole nother level. We was already talking about that, but y'all wanted to take it south. Oh, not even for the way south. And I think that's where the transition had changed. So, you always hear the conversation, even with Tank, who has always been very true to R&B in the genre, even said, like, listen, I've kept it to what it's traditionally has been, but I also needed to mix into the sound of what's going on with the progression is. I think that's very important to really keep that. But I think that sometimes, even with R&B, right, Q, people are trying to do the same thing as the next boy and the next girl. Music as a whole, they do that, but no one is seeming to really have their own lane. So I love where R&B is going. I love the space of pop music. I like to ignore the fact that I am a pop artist as well too now, uh, because the album just became more R&B.
So it
But
started off as pop. It started as pop, but like transitioned into R&B.
so it was originally supposed to be R&B and then pop as well, and with a little bit of hip hop. I mean, we've got some influences sound going on there, especially on "Want to Know What's Up," which I love that record, and Beyond the Lights. But it was originally supposed to be like pop given R&B, but because I'm really supposed to be a pop artist, but I just love
Says
that.
who? Says
I
who?
mean, says me. I love pop. I love pop. Like that's really like my favorite genre. I mean, of course, I love R&B, but I was like, oh, so you really are trying to like be a part of the new kids of the R&B. So I was like, go on, David, go ahead now.
But the thing is now, and hell, before, honestly, you can be any and everything that you want to be. So if you want to call yourself a pop artist and release some pop music, go for it. If you want to release some R&B music and be in that R&B genre, go for it. Now, when it comes to the different genres of music, pop, as we were just speaking about, we always ask, who's your favorite artist? Who's the artist that inspired you? R&B, we can go down the list for days. Marvin Gaye, Aretha Franklin, Nita Baker. But when it comes to pop, who inspires you pop wise? Whether it is a black artist, shout out to Black, Black Music Month. Shout out to Black Music
Yes.
Month. Or,
That-
an artist, yes, or an artist of another persuasion. Who inspires you, your sound, who do you turn up to every time you get a chance?
I'm gonna tell you the artists that really inspire my sound and just really truly the person that I have become and stuff like that definitely is Prince and Michael Jackson.
Okay.
They were so badass. They were very unapologetic. Of course, Beyonce and stuff like that. I mean, just the work ethic of when you think about the three of them, it's just like undeniable. And I would say them honestly because they were
Now,
just apologetic and they always have been. Um, so I love them. Definitely those three for sure.
and when you speak of those three, I don't hear musician. And not to say that they can't sing because they absolutely can. Those three
Yes.
entertainers. Like y'all can sing the song, y'all can bust a little dance move, the fashion, it's an entire experience from the three of those people. So is that the lane we're headed in? Like shows with pyrotechnics and doves and dancing and sliding across the stage? Like what can we look forward to?
I'm telling you, Q, and this is the first time I've ever said this because have not really done any interviews yet, but we have started to prepare we have a 5-song set and we have a 9-song set.
Okay.
So it's giving. I do want to bring in some lights. We have some minor dance choreography going on right now. Just like, just some real stage and showing some personality. But then I should be shaking it up very soon. But I think the song that really has the most choreography right now is I Just Want to Fall in Love.
Okay.
But the album version just hits. Did you hear it, the album version?
That one, no, I didn't. So I'm going back after we're done and I'm going to listen again to a couple of these songs because you're giving me things that I didn't necessarily pay attention to during that time. But that's the benefit of having the music is you can go back and whether it's a day from now, whether it's 10 years from now, you'll hear something different in the songs. Like there are so many songs now that I go back to at the age of 35 that I heard when I was 4. Like I remember a Pebbles song. Everybody knows Pebbles. I love Pebbles. That was like the first cassette that I got. giving you the benefit and Love Makes Things Happen, like those are my favorite songs. And I go back and I've listened to those songs recently, and I'm like, wow, I didn't hear this when I was 4. I didn't hear this when I was 15. I didn't even hear this when I was 25. But now that I've experienced a little more life, I'm experiencing the songs in a different way. So with that being said, I'm looking forward to experiencing these songs in a
Yeah.
different way.
And it has
As
to do
is the rest of the
with
world.
value too. I made sure of that. And that's the most important thing with music. You just can't create music where it's like it's just a moment. It has to be something you can go back to 2 months from now, to 6, to a year, to 5 years, to 10 years, to 20 years.
Yeah. Now, and with that being said, the songs that you re-released, were there any lyrics that you needed to go back and change to make them fit today and your experiences today?
I feel like they all did, especially like Nah Nah Nah, because I've always have dealt with a hater. We've all dealt with haters in our life that says that they're not going to do this, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. So I really felt right in the pocket of that. Love Won't Wait on Us. I was just like, because I be having little situationships, you know what I'm saying, Q? Nothing too serious. And I just be like, listen, what we gonna do? Like you like me, I like you. Like, can we make my computer updating on us while we doing this? This is so rude. Move. Come on, don't do that. But definitely that song in particular, but more so the newer songs, I would say it really spoke to who I was in the past to who I am even now.
And with that being said, for people who may be unfamiliar with you and all of the greatness that is inside of you, who are you? Who is David Duane?
David Duane is a positive, badass Taurus who, if you get on his bad side, he gonna let you have it. But very somebody who's understanding, caring, and just somebody who just is about inspiring others. You know, it's all about inspiration and everything that I do with my show to now the artistry. It's always been about being able to connect with people. You know, like that's why the project took as long as it did, because I wanted to really get to know myself more. I wanted to have relatability. You know what I'm saying? Like I can drop a whole album and talk about songs strictly about my life, but some people may not be able to relate to that. So I have to have a song called Let Me Cheat on You. I wish somebody would cheat on me. I have to have a energy like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that one's one of my favorites. I did not go through that, but it's just so important to be very relatable. So I like to consider myself very relatable and just someone who is just like everybody else. Because I think, no pun intended, that's even what Beyond the Lights is about. Like beyond the lights of the industry. It's beyond what people see. It's beyond having a beat face and, you know, looking good and photos edited and all the stuff, because there's a lot of time, as you and I and anybody who's watching this should know, Q, like this is a lot of work, blood, sweat, and tears, a lot of investment. And people don't even understand that. Even with this album, so much investment. But I'm so glad that I did it, because now I feel free. It's been therapeutic. It's a testimony, and not even just my testimony, but testimony to dreamers around the world.
That was deep right there. Now, the album, when is the album going to be released? What single are we leading with, and what is the name of the album?
So the album is out now, Unapologetic Blonde. Our lead singles are Love Me Wrong, Always Think About You, which is my favorite. I mean, they're all my favorite, but I just adore Always Think About You. And then Nah Nah Nah. And then we have other singles like, what do we have? All Night, which is a really good one. If You Say You Love Me. So I've got some ideas video-wise for those particular songs, but you guys will get tons of visuals for this album. I mean, 22 songs. It's like you guys really
22 songs.
Yes.
What?
Can I
That's
get
a road trip album.
It is. And I want to address that too, because I know a lot of people have low key been shading me about like, why is this album 22? Because it's a debut and it's a final. Why final? Because I've wanted to put out this project for a while. I really want to have a great run with this. And who's to say? It's not been confirmed, it's not been denied as of right now if there will be another project. There's other things that I want to do in my life. I will always be in the space of music, but to be able to put out a project that was more so about quality before it was about the numbers. You know what I'm saying? Because I could have gave y'all, 24, I could have did 27, which I pray that I get the opportunity to do it because it just 27 embodies the representation of the day I was born in April 27th. And that's why even if people have been paying attention, things are always released with me on the 27th. Represent being here in life and stuff like that. And I think that's what life is all about, being able to celebrate that. So yeah, debut and final, but those are amazing ones. But y'all gonna see these songs live soon. I don't know where.
I don't know about that. Like, I think we need to kind of rephrase that, because the thing is, when it comes to the music space, you don't know if you're going to release again. You might get the opportunity to work with your favorite artist. So maybe you need to rephrase it and say, finally, the debut.
Oh, I like that.
Do that.
And so, yeah,
because when you say the debut and like the finale, the final, people are thinking like, okay, I'm releasing this and I'm never releasing anything again. Tamar said the same thing, and she turned around and released more music. Tank said the same thing. He turned around and released more music. You never know what's going to be put into you, but just phrase it as, finally, I'm releasing this album that I've been holding on to for all of these years. So hopefully that's the change, so that we can get more in the future.
I pray so. But you know what? I also realize people have to want it as well too. I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste.
You gotta want it first,
huh? Oh, of course
you're gonna want it. If you want it and you put something out there, somebody is going to want that. But the thing is, people don't always open up and say what they need. People don't know what they need a lot of times until they have it. So if it's in you to write it, record it, release it, somebody out there is going to benefit from it.
Oh yeah. And I've got a catalog of music that's unreleased. So I mean, you never really
80
know.
songs.
Huh?
Then you said it was like 100 songs that you had to choose from or something like that?
It was a lot. It definitely was rolling 30 deep. So it made it very challenging. But once I was going through so much stress in the final process and just, business things and stuff like that. I mean, one thing about releasing a project, people have to understand, there is always going to be music business that has to be handled up until the last minute, even after the fact that it's out and you think that things are all right. And it's like, there's always going to be something. So we actually went in and did 6 songs, and those 6 songs end up making the project. So those songs were Save Us, which is my inspirational record. I had to give glory to God on this project. I mean, He is the reason for everything. If you're a believer, if you're a believer or watching this, you understand the importance of recognition of God in any space. He's never gone. He's always present. So it was so important to just do that. And then a good friend of mine, Dana Vons, he did the background vocals with me, and we just slid on it. And then we also did Breaking Point. And that's one of my personal favorites, because I've been at the breaking point for so many years, and that was literally the last song that was written and recorded for this project. Wow. So we came through swinging on the last one. Starshine, it's about moving to LA, and just want to see my dream shine, and people thinking that it's perfect. The reality is life is not perfect. And when we can recognize that, and that we are human, and that we all make mistakes, that's how improvement can happen with our life.
Yes. Come on now, David Duane Angelou for that inspiration at the end. Well,
That's
look,
what I'm trying
I
to inspire kids.
yes, like I appreciate that, and I'm pretty sure that the people out there watching are listening to it. I congratulate you on
Thank you so
finally the
much.
debut,
Finally today.
and I
Yeah,
wish you much success on everything that you have coming up. So if you can, go ahead and let people know where they can download, stream, listen, love, like, and add to their cookout playlist. This
absolutely.
new project.
Absolutely. So it's on all platforms: iTunes, Tidal, Spotify, Amazon, SoundCloud. I recommend that if you are someone that has Apple, or if you got your Google Play, make sure you download. I always say download and stream, even when I send press releases out, because you won't be disappointed. And especially if you listen to something over and over again, it's always much more easier to have it tangible on your phone. You ain't got to search. So
Right there.
download and then stream, run my streams up, but really download and support. I think it's always important to, if you have favorite artists or new artists or just people that you love and support, to really buy and to be able to like hold on to it, just like I'm holding on to this cloth and stuff like that, and be able to like real ownership. It's a different type of feeling and type of love and support that you show. Buy your favorites, tickets and books, and go out to the meet and greets and buy the sauces, and cooking stuff that Bobby Brown has. Shout out to Bobby Brown because he's amazing. Just like really support your people. It doesn't mean black people, doesn't mean white, it has no color whatsoever. But let's support our people because we're all on this earth together and we all gotta survive, and we're all feeding each other nothing but goodness.
Yes. Thank you so much. Make sure you guys follow him on Instagram as well. I'm sure there are links to every single thing that he has going on. Give that Instagram for us real quick.
Yes. So it's at David Duane. Twitter is D Duane Official. Facebook is David Duane Official. And everything David Duane. But Q, I got to ask you a question, friend. Out of the songs that you heard, what are your top favorites?
So, okay.
I know.
See, I was pulling up the track list. I was trying to pull up the track list earlier, but for some reason Google was acting up. So shout out to you, Google, for acting up. So it was the first Perfect.
Yeah, Beyond the Light. Yeah.
So that one was very interesting to me because I wasn't expecting that. So as the song came in, I'm like, okay, maybe this might be about that public persona that people are, you always have to be perfect if you're a brand. And then it came in with some whole different other kind of stuff. I'm like, whoa, you guys have to download it to hear what that whoa is. But that one definitely, because that's the first one that I heard. And the second one that I heard, because I heard it again. And damn, what was the Faith Evans inspired song? I'm going to get the names. I promise you I will.
Always Think About You.
Yes, because I love a vibe. I'm a vibe head at heart, I guess. And I'm going to say those are, I know you said top 5. I'm going to go with top 2 because those are the ones that I actually remember right now.
Yeah.
So I'll go on Twitter or social media after I've listened to them over and over and over again, and I'll let you know. I'll give you that top 5 in 5 days.
Let's go. But the fact that you always think about you is just like amazing. Because like I said, that song is like my baby. And the fact that I've been seeing people respond on social media to that one, like they don't even know me, saying like, I love your voice. This song is dope. Where can I download it? Where can I stream it? It's crazy because I'm not a natural born singer by any means. But one thing about art, it will always find the people that it needs to be connect with the most. So the fact that you said that one and Beyond the Lights, I did kind of freak on that hook. I did. I needed to, to really show a different side of me. Because, with personality and then having a PR marketing company, there's always this perception. There's always been a perception about me. Oh, he's cool, calm, collected, bougie, da 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 da. Right? Which is all things true, all things amazing. But people really don't know who I am. So I needed to give a sense of my Taurus side. I needed to give a sense of really who I am in my own light. It's like people have seen me as a personality, and that's great. But I want you to see me in a different facet and to know that I can do this for real.
Yeah, and he is doing it, guys.
And some other things in between, according to them later.
Oh my God. So look, I appreciate you guys if you pull your phones out, pull your MacBook, whatever you need to pull out. Yes. Go ahead, download that music, stream. Download, stream, and buy. Mm-hmm. Download, stream, and buy, or buy, download, stream. Yeah. Whatever order, just make sure you do all of them. Support independent artists. Just support anybody who is bold enough to express themselves creatively, because we all know, as Erykah Badu said, artists are sensitive about their shit. So make sure you go support them, love on them, encourage them. I appreciate you, David, again for this conversation. And this will not be the last time that we have this conversation, because I'm pretty sure that you're going to be releasing some other things that people are going to want to hear. And when you get those, possible tour dates in motion, definitely let me know when you're coming to Atlanta.
Right.
I'll be there.
I'll let you. And the glasses.
And I'll bring my David Duane frames. I
mentioned
this earlier, guys.
I wanted to say that.
Yeah. I went and put these on purpose because he's always wearing his. So I had to, channel my inner. Now, I didn't change my hair, but because you'll wear some hair colors, but I did what I could.
I'm getting too damn old to be doing all this color. I just need to stick to my black and my blonde and call it a day. But
what are we now? What color are we right now?
Right now, since people really have not seen, it's actually blue.
Uh-oh. Make sure y'all look at the social media so y'all can see that blue hair. But I appreciate you, man. And you have an amazing rest of your day.
You as well, Q. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Absolutely. Thank you. And guys, once again, go buy, download, stream. Buy, download, stream. Buy, download, stream. There you go.
Have a good one.